Hello, everyone, and welcome to Feelz Right Quiz Night.
What a delight.
So thrilled to have everybody here. If you're out there in YouTube land, thank you for being a stream queen and watching along with us. And to all the contestants here battling it out for the prizes, welcome to all of you, too. I am the Quizzard, and this is Sidekick Mr. Jeffords.
Hello.
And we are broadcasting to you live from our living room to yours. And pretty excited because this is really your penultimate opportunity to have hashtag fun on a month. So I hope that you are doing so, and I definitely am doing so. And with that, I'm going to just go ahead and take the first sip of this massive glass of gin.
Yikes.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers, old ball and tube chains. Throwing it down, I see. Okay, great. Now, gonna pass it over to the sidekick in a second for scoring, but before we do that, contestants, please rename yourselves in the Zoom room by your team name if you've yet to do so. And also, while you do that, I'm just gonna get Jeff Probst lit here. Again, gotta get on the Jeff Probst diet. All right, so here we go. This candle is getting harder and harder to light every week, just like this quiz is getting harder and harder. Actually, it's not. I'd like to think that it's pretty consistent. Anyway, all right. Passing it over to the sidekick for the update on the scores.
Just waiting for that bell. Okay, and now it's my turn. Okay, I know you all want to know about last week's score, so let's get into it. What a week last week. Yes, exactly. I see a lot of people sweating. I can tell. People are nervous. Last week. Third place teams from last week, we had El Rayo del Norte. Yeah, we had Baby Sharks. That was a different song.
Oh.
We had Division 1. We had.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
We had Bars of Pandemonium. We had Masked Jeeves in third place last week. We had Return of the Squids, Rosie and the Triveters, Sleepy in the Suburbs, all with one big point on the scoreboard. Second place last week, we had the Golden Squirrel Friends, Hard Quartets, Mavis Baker Band, My Team Will Go On, Celine Dion, and Shameless, all with 2 big points on the board.
Wow, okay.
But, which leaves our champions of the week, those first place teams, Nom Chomp and Our Best Friends.
Wow.
What a week. But did you forget? Last week was also the Surge and the Swerve, which was the Surge on a curve. And many of you did very well on that and got extra bonus points that really, really, really shook up the leaderboard. So the overall scoreboard is as follows. Listen closely because things have changed. Where do you stand? Well, I'm going to tell you, in third place overall so far, we have Cinnamon Buns, the Golden Squirrel Friends, Hammocks, Hard Quartet, the Mavis Baker Band, and Sleepy in the Suburbs, all right there.
Wow, tight.
Second place so far, we have the Dammit Janets and Return of the Squids.
Yes!
Which leaves in first place overall so far. My Team Will Go On, Celine Dion, Nom Chomp, and Our Best Friends duking it out.
Wow.
Okay, but watch out, everyone, because many of you are hot on their heels. Teams like Masked Jeeves, Rosie and the Triveters, Steamboat Willies, and Shameless. You're all still in this. You're all still in this because
it's still anyone's game.
And back to you.
Okay, great. So, again, yes, there are prizes. As everybody knows, we are going to announce another one of the prizes tonight. We'll do that between round 2 and round 3. And please, a friendly reminder to all of the contestants and all of the stream queens out there that you agreed to abide by the honor system. Mm-hmm. The honor system, no cheating, just go with what you know.
It's more fun that way, I promise.
It's true. It is. All right. Okay, so I guess it feels right to launch into...
Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Round 1, you're so talkative, I love it, is, in case you're surprised, current events as always.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a gulp of this. Here we go. Let's see what's jogging around ye old noggins. Question 1. Current event. Round 1, question 1. The NBA playoffs ground to a halt this past week in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and in protest of the shooting of Jacob Blake. This team refused to take the court on Wednesday in their game against the Orlando Magic and ignited a wave of players from a whole bunch of sports to follow suit. What is the team? Half a point for the city and half a point for the team name. The NBA playoffs ground to a halt this past week in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and in protest of the shooting of Jacob Blake. This team refused to take the court on Wednesday in their game against the Orlando Magic and ignited a wave of players from a whole bunch of sports to follow suit. What is the team? Half of a point for the city and half a point for the team name. Okay, question 2. Due to the relapse of a chronic bowel disease, the Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, has announced that he is stepping down as the country's leader. Rounding up, for how many years was he Japan's Prime Minister? Okay, that question again. Due to the relapse of a chronic bowel disease, the Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, has announced that he is stepping down as the country's leader. Rounding up, for how many years was he Japan's Prime Minister? Okay, shake that one around the old skull. Question 3. CBS is the first network to debut its fall lineup, and it's not looking particularly robust. The big quote-unquote new shows are essentially content that was already available elsewhere, like Star Trek Discovery, which debuted on CBS All Access 3 years ago. The rest of the schedule is beefed up with reality TV, but for the first time in 20 years, there's no new season of this show. What iconic show is missing from CBS's lineup? CBS is the first network to debut its fall lineup, and it's not looking particularly robust. The big quote-unquote new shows are essentially content that was already available elsewhere, like Star Trek Discovery, which debuted on CBS All Access 3 frickin' years ago. The rest of the schedule is beefed up with reality TV, but for the first time in 20 years, there's no new season of this show. What iconic show is missing from CBS's lineup? Okay, question 4. Multiple choice. Here we go. Actor Chadwick Boseman, the magnetic King T'Challa from Black Panther, passed away this week. Of the following historical figures, which one did he not portray in a film? Of the following historical figures, which one did he not portray in a film? A. American dramatist August Wilson. B. Baseball pioneer Jackie Robinson. C. Civil rights activist Thurgood Marshall. Or D. The Godfather of Soul, James Brown. Of these 4, which one did he not portray in a film? A. American dramatist August Wilson. B. Baseball pioneer Jackie Robinson. C. Civil rights activist Thurgood Marshall. Or D. The Godfather of Soul, James Brown. Okay. Question 5. This is when the papers start getting real wackadoodle. Page 3. All right. Question 5. Elon Musk said, quote, "It's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires," end quote. This brain-computer device will allow people to do things like stream music right to their brain. And Musk has said such chips could eventually be used to help cure conditions such as dementia, Parkinson's disease, and spinal cord injuries. The long-term ambition is to usher in an age of what Musk calls, quote, "superhuman cognition," end quote, which will have to do in part with fighting artificial intelligence so powerful that it could destroy the human race. As part of his webcast to announce this new project from his company Neuralink, what animal did Musk use to demo the device? There's a lot to unpack in that question, huh?
Ooh,
All
classic.
right. Yeah, Elon Musk said it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires. Stream music to your brain. Could also help cure conditions such as dementia, Parkinson's, spinal cord. Long-term, usher in an age of, quote, "superhuman cognition," which is going to have to do in part with fighting artificial intelligence so powerful it could destroy the human race. As part of his webcast to announce this new project from his company Neuralink, what animal did Musk use to demo the device? Okay, the lines are open, so you can start sending in your responses to the sidekick.
Let's do it.
If you're a stream queen, just roll with the punches here and just go fill up your drink or grab another slice of za, whatever it is you might be doing in the homestead right now. I'm going to take a massive sip of gin. I'm going to take a reasonable sized sip of gin from my massive glass of gin. That's what I meant to say. Okay, so brief skin contact is reiterating the mantra to go with what you know. It's true. That's all you can do. Okay, so now does anybody need a repeat of a question? Okay, my team will go on. Celine Dion wants to hear question 1 again. We'll get to that in a second. There are a few other fun questions popping up here in the chat in the Zoom room. As far as the chat in the YouTube room, that is a technological specificity we have yet to incorporate into the show. But za, is that a Canadian thing? Sidekick?
I don't think so. It's just a weird. It's a nobody.
It might be
it's
a 90s.
Nobody.
It might be a 90s thing. Okay, so 1 and 3 coming soon. There was another question here as well from Nobody Beats the Wiz. Are there any consolation prizes? Ooh, you're gonna have to wait and find out because next week is the grand finale. Okay, so back to question 1. Anything can happen in Feelz Right Quiz Night. Okay, question 1. NBA playoffs ground to a halt. Black Lives Matter in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. This team refused to take the court on Wednesday, last Wednesday. What's the team? Half a point for the city and half a point for the team name. Okay. Question 3. This one is for brief skin contact and others. CBS fall lineup, not looking good. A lot of stuff that was available before, like this Star Trek Discovery, which was on CBS All Access 3 years ago. Rest of the schedule's beefed up with reality TV, but for the first time in 20 years, there's no new season of this show. What iconic show is missing from CBS's lineup? Okay, so Old Ball and 2 Chains is saying za is def a Long Island thing. So it's well, that makes sense if it's a 90s thing and it's a Long Island thing. I was in Long Island yesterday and there's something sort of depressively 90s about the Long Island aesthetic, I would say. Those of you who've never been there, you're not missing much. No offense to Long Islanders. Technically, we're on Long Island right now, but yeah. Okay. So, any other repeats? You used to say it in Wisconsin in the 80s. Okay, Marzipandemonium. They used to say it in Wisconsin in the 80s. So I think za is, it's intergenerational, intercontinental. Well, that we don't know if it's intercontinental, but it's international, intergenerational. Let's go with that. Okay, so here's my cue. Did you bring the decor to Long Island? Return of the Squids wants to know. The decor. You mean the glimmer curtain? Not this trip. Okay, so does anybody out there need more time? If you need more time, please do ye-ol reaction button, flash a thumb up, or just actually hold your thumb up to the screen for like a count of 5 while I just sort of noodle around through the Zoom. I call it Zoom noodling. Okay, so it looks like everybody is good to go, which is pretty impressive. Wow, are you teams ever getting good at this whole coordinated communication?
I'll determine that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Just kidding.
Ross's boss, you forgot to rename yourselves. If you haven't renamed yourself, please rename yourself. It makes it way more easy for me to call you out by name, although I think I know most of your names by now. Okay, so listen, if that's it, nobody needs more time, I'm gonna go ahead and ding this thing in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, the round is closed. So now we're going to start picking through these answers one by one. All right, so here we go.
Lots of people giving emojis tonight. Are you all group think over there?
Wow.
I like it.
Okay, we've got some emotional emoji users within the room of contestants. Stream queens, are you feeling the emoji vibe? If you are, just send yourself or your loved one an emoji right now. Actually, can you text yourself? I don't think you can. Okay, so here we go. Although that wouldn't be a horrible feature, because then, like for example, today I needed to put together a shopping list real quick, so I texted him. So that I could, if I could just text myself. Anyway, all right, so here we go. So, I guess I could have started a note. All right, question 1, here we go. Answers. NBA playoffs ground to a halt this past week. This team refused to take the court on Wednesday in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and to protest the shooting of Jacob Blake. The Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks, El Rayo del Norte is devil horn and double. Okay, question 2. Relapse of chronic bowel disease. That must really be a tough one. Shinzo Abe has announced that he is stepping down as the country's leader, rounding up. How many years was he Japan's prime minister? 9. 9 years. Okay, wow, 9 years. He was actually the prime minister on two different occasions. A scandal-plagued first prime ministership for 1 year, from September 26th, 2006 to September 25th, 2007. And then most recently for another almost 8 years, from December 26th, 2012 to August 28th, 2020. 3 months shy of 9 years. We are looking for 9 years for this question. Also, I do want to just go back to question 1 for 1 second, because I think that this is really awesome. The NBA and its players union made a first of its kind decision on Friday to convert basketball arenas into polling locations for the November election here in the United States. In cities where the team controls its arena, they will be opened for voting in the upcoming election. How amazing is that? Including Madison Square Garden here in New York City. I meant to look up Barclays Center, but I forgot. Hopefully there's a lot of teams that play there and stuff that goes on there, so I don't know. But anyway, I think that that's a really amazing use of a space. Okay, so question 3, CBS. Fall lineup, not looking great. The rest of the schedule beefed up with reality TV, but for the first time in 20 years, there is no new season of Hey, hey, ho, yeah, hey, hey, ho, hey, ho, Survivor. No Survivor this year. You know Jeff is probably actually totally fine with that. Okay, question 4, multiple choice. Actor Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, King T'Challa from Black Panther. Of the following historical figures, the one he did not portray is A, American dramatist August Wilson. The role that kind of broke him as an actor was as civil rights activist Thurgood Marshall in the film Marshall. And I learned that there were about 25 other actors who had been seriously considered for the role. And actually, Chadwick was something of a Renaissance man. He came to acting primarily or initially as a way to learn how to speak to actors. And when he got the part of Thurgood Marshall, he had been directing an off-Broadway play in the East Village. And then he got that part, and things kind of snowballed from there, obviously. I tried to figure out what the play was and what the theater was, but that one went the way of the Barclays Center recon. Couldn't figure it out.
Just didn't.
Actually, Barclays Center I didn't look up. The Chadwick one, you know, I was knee-deep in Chadwick Boseman articles from tabs across the screen. Couldn't figure it out. Okay, question 5. Elon Musk, kind of like a Fitbit in your skull, as part of his webcast to announce this new project from his company Neuralink, Musk demoed the device on a pig named Gertrude. Pig. Looking for pig. 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 Pig is the answer to the question. Very smart animals, pigs. So next time you eat a piece of bacon,
They're going to be playing their own music in their own brains. Neuralink.
the bacon?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so, friendly reminder that if you have yet to make your donation to the Ali Forney Center, please do that. So many of you, if not all of you, already have. Stream Queens, if you're watching along, all the contestants here have contributed to a fundraising effort in support of the Ali Forney Center, which does phenomenal work on behalf of homeless LGBTQIA2S+ youth here in New York City. And can I just say that our goal was an $800 scenario for Ali Forney, and we have raised $1,540.
Let's double the goal.
That's almost double the goal. I'm just really proud of us. You know, it really warms my heart that we can come together, do something fun like this, and also, you know, contribute to make somebody else's life a little bit better as well. You know, especially such a vulnerable group. So thank you to all of you. And Stream Queens, if you're feeling the tug on your heartstrings, go ahead and look up Ali Forney online and make a donation if you're able to. Okay, so now it feels right to launch into
round 2, which is Mask Life. Mask Life. Okay. Mask Jeeves didn't realize she dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah, Mask
I
Jeeves.
love it.
Mask Jeeves might have some slight psychic abilities. We'll check in on that later. Okay, so here we go. Round 2, Mask Life. Question 1. Worldwide coronavirus cases surpassed 25 million over the weekend, but this is not the first time masks have been worn as a preventative measure in the face of a pandemic. Surgical masks and flu masks were made of gauze during the 1918 flu pandemic that infected approximately 500 million people. That's 1/3 of the world's population at the time, in 4 successive waves. The 1918 flu pandemic began in February-March of 1918, believed to be caused by a mutated virus. What month of 1918 did the second wave begin? Okay? So just wrap your mind around that. Gonna go back to the beginning. current statistics of the coronavirus surpassed 25 million cases over the weekend globally. Not the first time we've been wearing masks as a preventative measure. Surgical masks and flu masks were made of gauze and worn during the 1918 flu pandemic that infected approximately 500 million people, 1/3 of the world's population at the time, in 4 successive waves. The pandemic began in February or March of 1918, believed to be caused by a mutated virus. In what month of 1918 did the second wave begin? Okay. Okay, so Ensalada Grande is getting defensive about bacon. I will say that I have been a vegetarian for 22 years, and maybe 4 years ago I had a piece of bacon and I loved it. And I would do it again. Question 2. Okay, so we're only gonna do this once.
You know what that means.
You know what that means. Sidekick Mr. Jeffords, can I get a little bit of support from you, please?
Of course.
What you need to do here, contestants and stream queens at home, is fill in the 3-word blank. Okay? All right. Here we go.
Okay. Oh, how to say?
Masquerade! Paper faces on parade! Masquerade! Hide your face so the world will never find you. Masquerade! Every face a different shade. Masquerade! Look around, there's another. Look around, there's another.
I stopped one word early. I apologize.
Okay. Fill in the 3-word blank. Look around. There's another. 3 words. Okay. So close to getting it perfect, too.
Okay, my bad.
Luckily, we're not in the business of professionalism here at the Feelz Right Quiz Night. We just do what feels right.
Yeah, just go with it.
Yeah. So, could please cue the soundtrack? Okay, question 3. Professional wrestling in Mexico dates back to 1863, inspired by Greco-Roman wrestling. It started regionally, but then exploded with the advent of the television in the 1950s, having already been established as a national entertainment in the 1930s. The sport's first star was a silver-masked wrestler known simply as El Santo, the Saint. The wrestling style traditionally involved aerial maneuvers and, of course, the signature masks worn by wrestlers. These masks have historical significance dating back to the Aztecs. What is this wrestling entertainment? Not the wrestlers themselves. What is this wrestling entertainment called in La Mexico? Okay. Professional wrestling in Mexico dates back to 1863, inspired by Greco-Roman wrestling. Started regionally, exploded nationally with the advent of the television in the 1950s, having already become a national entertainment in the 1930s. The sport's first star was a silver-masked wrestler known simply as El Santo. The wrestling style traditionally involved aerial maneuvers and, of course, the signature masks worn by wrestlers. What is this wrestling entertainment called in La Mexico? Okay. Question 4. One of the most iconic masks to feature prominently in movie history is that worn by the crazed killer character in the Halloween franchise of slasher films, the first installment of which was released in 1978. Because it was a low-budget film, the artist responsible for creating Michael Myers' terrifying mask picked up a couple options. The first was a clown mask, and the other, the one they went with, was a spray-painted and eye-hole altered mask of this character. We will also accept the name of the actor. Who is he? One of the most iconic masks to feature prominently in movie history is that worn by the crazed killer character in the Halloween franchise of slasher films, the first installment of which was released in 1978. Because it was a low-budget film, the artist responsible for creating Michael Myers' terrifying mask picked up a couple of options. The first was a clown mask, and the other, the one they went with, was a spray-painted and eye-hole altered mask of this character. We will also accept the name of the actor. Who is he? Going back to question 2, I will say that you're not the only one who faltered. I struggled with the shaker.
Yeah, see,
With
I was
the
actually so overjoyed by how
shaker.
nicely my pound on the table was sounding, like the real song. I just got distracted.
And I just got distracted by this egg shaker, which is from Broadway's The Great Comet of 1812.
It's true.
I just want to point out that there is an original cast member of this show present in the Zoom room as a contestant. So holler to you. I'm not going to out you right now if for some reason that's something you don't want, but anyway. Amazing show, and I've got the shaker to prove it. I actually saw that show 3 times.
And this pot is from the original kitchen
of our apartment. Okay, question 5. This animated children's program from the 1980s centered on an underground task force based out of a gas station called Boulder Hill that transformed into a battle station. The task force was in perpetual conflict with a criminal organization called Venom. It's an acronym for Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my right butt cheek. The show spawned a slew of children's toys, but actually only aired for 2 years, in 1985 and 1986, and 75 episodes. The show was considered a hybrid of popular era cartoons G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, and Transformers. What was this kids' show called? Animated children's program from the 1980s centered on an underground task force based out of a garden station called Boulder Hill that transformed into a battle station. The task force was in perpetual conflict with the criminal organization called Venom. I'll show you my tattoo if you want to know what that means. The show spawned a slew of children's toys, but actually only aired for 2 years in 1985 and 1986, and 75 episodes were aired. The show was considered a hybrid of popular era cartoons, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, and the Transformers. What was this kids' show called?
Right, here we go.
Okay, the lines are open. Send in your responses to the sidekick, Mr. Jeffords, if you are a contestant. If you are one of our beloved stream queens, just start mulling over your answers in your own mind. Discuss with friends, call a relative, or just go get another slice of za. Okay. Who needs a repeat? Could you repeat number 4? And number 2, Return of the Squids needs number 2, so does Shaved Mango. I almost feel like we do need to do it just because rhythmically at the end.
Oh, it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault, but I just think it might be fair.
That's true. I did mess up.
So let's do that one, just because, so people can feel it, because it did fall apart at the end, and there is a rhythmic thing. Gonna get my great comet of 1812.
Gonna get my original pot.
Shaker back, get your kitchen pot.
Seasoned. That's not it.
By the way, phenomenal show. I highly recommend checking out the soundtrack. I listened to it recently because, anyway, that's a whole nother story. Okay, so, wait, I need the lyrics.
You don't know them by heart?
I mean, I don't know it, but I don't.
It's the world's favorite musical.
I don't want to. Okay.
Okay, I'll try to focus.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay. Masquerade! Paper faces on parade! Masquerade! Hide your face so the world will never find you. Masquerade! Every face a different shade. Masquerade! Look around, there's another. Okay.
Get back to grading.
All right, get back to grading. Get the tunes back on. And also, I believe there was a request for number 4. I hope that rhythm helped some of you. Can you offer the egg shaker as a consolation prize? Return of the Squids. Do you think I'm going to get rid of this egg shaker? And I don't know if you've noticed, we've used it in a variety of performances in this show, including Bananarama, Rent. Okay, so question 4. One of the most iconic masks to feature prominently in movie history, Halloween. Low budget artist went out to get something for Michael Myers. Got a couple options. The first was clown mask, and the one they went with was a spray painted and eye hole altered mask of this character. We will also accept the name of the actor. Who is he? Okay. All right. So get your responses into the sidekick, Mr. Jeffords. Does anybody need a question repeated? If so, throw your thing up in a thing. If you need more time, please flash us a thumb up or a high five using the reaction button so I can see if anybody needs more time. Wow. I will say, as a group, I feel like we have... Okay, Mars of Pandemonium, I see you. Need more time. You've got 30 seconds. Confer with screen 1 and get these answers together. We're waiting on yous. It's another Canadianism. The plural of yous. Believe that's a Canadianism. Maybe a Midwestern thing too. Midwesterners are almost as trashy as Canadians.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. We'd have to check in with Ross's boss.
They're similar.
About that.
They have some...
There's a similar vibe there, yeah. Okay, so 15 seconds left for you, Mars of Pandemonium, before we close the round. Also... Uh-oh. Oh no, nothing. It's okay. Okay, closing the round. Now, I will need the sidekick to run a quick errand for me. That's not what I was uh-ohing about, but, and there is no uh-oh, I just thought I had the wrong paper, but I don't. Okay, so the round is closed. So the responses are into the sidekick.
Yeah, I'm working
Now,
hard.
you're working hard. We're gonna go over the answers in a second, but before we do that, actually, should we do that now or should we do a chat now? I'm asking you and you're busy.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's, you know what, before we do the answers, let's do a quick check in here. So this is gonna be okay, so let me just, I have to actually search for you. Okay, so I'm gonna unmute. I think only one of you might have, I'm not really sure. All right, so the Golden Squirrel friends, are you there?
I'm here. Hello, darling. How are you?
Okay, so we have one. Do we have two?
Yes, hello.
Hello, the Golden Squirrel friends, number 1 and number 2. Okay, so now before we get into the thick of it,
Oh my
please
God.
yourselves to the Feelz Right fam and to the stream queens watching along at home.
Sorry?
Don't be shy. Introduce yourselves.
Oh, I'm Jason.
I'm Jefferson. Hi.
Hello, Jason. Hello, Jefferson. Okay, so this is Team the Golden Squirrel Friends. Jason, where are you right now?
I'm in the Bronx, New York, New York.
Okay, cool. And Jefferson, where are you?
I just flew to upstate New York from Iowa today.
Okay, so what were you doing in Iowa?
I was with my family. That's where I'm from. So I've been there for about 3 months.
3 months with the fam. How'd that go?
It's fine. Happy to be here.
Okay, gotcha. Where are you now?
Lake George.
Lake George, beautiful. I love. We were just
Yes.
today, and actually, my cousin lives part time at Lake George. I'll connect you
Yeah, come on up.
from a distance. Okay. So now, listen. Tell the world how you two know each other.
Oh, God. Through a mutual friend.
Okay.
Yeah, our mutual friend Michael. We met.
I'm Jason's caretaker. He's a little bit too old to take care of himself. So I'm doing my charity for the year.
Actually, it was a crime you committed.
So who's the mysterious Michael, and what was the situation in which you two met?
It's actually really funny because I met people who knew. 'Cause I knew Michael. I did a show with Michael hundreds of years ago, and when I told people found out I knew him, they'd be like, "Do you know Jefferson?" I'm like, "I don't know Jefferson," and so Jefferson was a myth for like many, many years, and then I met him, and we became like really good friends.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Now, Jefferson, was Jason a myth to you as well?
Yes, more like an enigma, I would say. More like a rash,
Okay.
more than a myth. But yes, the same.
Okay, so a myth and an enigma that could potentially be a team name for season 3.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so now the other little kind of piece of the trivia here is that both of you know the sidekick, Mr. Jeffords.
And we've done shows with him.
You've both performed
true.
live with him on stage. So what I was hoping to do, and the sidekick doesn't know this, is I was hoping to dig up a little bit of dirt on sidekick, and I was hoping you might have some juicy anecdotes to dish.
I don't know if I have dirt. I might have a picture.
Okay, let's see it.
Talk to Jefferson now, and I'll pull it up. Give me.
Wait,
Now, Jefferson, what show did you do with the sidekick, Mr. Jeffords?
we did Sweeney, the only show I ever do.
Okay, Sweeney Todd. Jefferson, I remember you distinctly in that show as Beetle.
Yes.
Beetle Banford. You were so great, and sidekick played Toby and was absolutely heartbreakingly moving. No, but you were. You really were. It was a really, really good performance from him and from Jefferson. Now, Jefferson? What is a particularly juicy memory that you have of the sidekick from when you worked with him on Sweeney Todd?
I don't think it was like during the show, but we got nominated for an Innovative Theater Award. And then afterwards, we just kind of like went out in the West Village, and I think the sidekick bombed in the subway on the way home.
That is some really good dirt on the sidekick. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I wasn't there, but I remember.
I think you might be right.
I remember the day after, and he's copying to it. Okay, all right.
I think that's the most scandalous thing. He's pretty
Yeah, he's pretty
scandal free.
Yeah, he's down the center for the most part.
I'm smiling now.
Okay, so Jason, were you able to unearth this?
I've not gone back and edited and organized my photos from that long ago, and we did a show a long time ago.
Do you remember when the sidekick said it was?
It was like
10
the
years?
first show I did when I moved to New York, so it was 2009.
What was the show, Jason?
Ironically, I'm in 2009 of my folder right now.
Okay, so honing in.
Please.
Wow, that is a seriously organized scenario you have going there. I mean, I don't think that
Your pictures are organized by date?
Well, they're organized by date, but I mean, my current phone has whatever photos I've taken on it since I've had the phone, and my other
I'm
phone.
on my computer. I'm on my computer right now.
On your computer. I don't know if I've ever even really synced my phone to my computer, which is probably.
I made it really. I made that happen because I was touring so much, so I wanted to make sure that. I found it. I wanted to make sure that I had the memories. How do I do this? Did I drop it in the chat?
Well, just hold it up to
he's
to your camera.
How do I do that? I'm on my computer.
Oh, you're on your computer.
I have
Okay,
to
yeah,
share my
throw
screen.
it in the chat, and then the contestants can all take a look
Or
at the
text,
sidekick, Mr.
can
Jefferson.
text it to either of us, and we'll...
Alma, turn off the battery.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
By the way, Marza Pandemonium is saying she saw that show with the sidekick and Jefferson, and
really?
it was amazing. The photo has been dropped in the chat.
Chat.
Contestants who want to see it, and Shaved Mango is suggesting share screen. That's just
Yeah,
too.
I could have done that, but there's a lot of things on my screen right now.
Yeah, you don't want to see that screen, trust.
What would be the thing you would want us to least see on your screen right now? If
Oh,
you
you don't want to know. The cops are listening.
Back to the quiz, Jason. Can you tell everybody what the show was that you and the sidekick
Well,
did?
we did Babes in Toyland at Avery Fisher Hall. Do they do that anymore?
Did they do that anymore?
It used to be a yearly thing. I don't know if they do it anymore.
Oh, they took a couple years off, and then they did it again, and I graduated to the star of the show, and then I think I must have got
Oh.
it.
When did you do it again? I didn't know you did it again.
Yeah, I did it. I played the Matt Dangler role.
Oh, shut up!
Yeah.
I think that they asked me to do it again, and I can't remember what I said. I think I said when hell freezes over. I think that's, I'm not sure.
So it wasn't one of your more favorite ones.
It was just a schedule. I had fun doing it. The schedule was ridiculous.
Was bonkers.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, you two. Thank you so much for being a part of the Feelz Right fam. Love having you quiz night, and yeah, talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to jump into the responses, and then we're going to get going on the... I was hoping for some way better dirt, but I have
There
to
is
say...
no dirt on me.
The bomb on the subway. We've all seen it. He's committed it. It's a thing. Okay, so here we go. Round two,
Sorry,
question
Mom.
one. Sorry, Mom. Okay, round two, question one. Flu pandemic, 1918. Flu pandemic began in February, March of 1918. In what month did the second wave begin? August. August, according to Encyclopedia Britannica, the second wave of the 1918 pandemic was much more deadly than the first, especially among 20 to 40-year-olds, which is an unusual mortality age pattern for influenza. The highest fatality rate of the whole pandemic was in October of 1918. Pause for 1 second. Sidekick, could you do me a favor and run to the you-know-where to fetch the you-know-what?
BRB.
The third wave was in January 1919, and then the fourth wave came in the spring of 2020. Also, another thing to note, read the name. In France, England, and the United States, newspapers weren't allowed to report on anything that could harm the war effort, including news that a crippling virus was sweeping through the troops. Since Spanish journalists were some of the only ones reporting on the widespread flu outbreak in the spring of 1918, this pandemic became known as the Spanish flu. But actually, the origin of it is unknown. So the 1918 flu pandemic, I think, is the way to go on that one. Okay, question two. We said we were going to do it once. We did it twice. The 3-word blank at the end of the second verse of Masquerade. Look around. There's another mask behind you.
I did give half a point for face behind you, because
There's another mask behind you.
You were there, but you weren't quite there.
I know you're all gonna bust out your Phantom of the Opera double cassettes later and skip to the top of Act 2. Okay, question 3, professional wrestling in the Mexico. Dates back to 1863. Aerial maneuvers, the signature masks that have historical significance dating back to the Aztecs. Wrestling entertainment in Mexico is called lucha libre, and the wrestlers are called luchadors. Lucha libre is the answer we were looking for. Lucha libre. Question 4. One of the most iconic masks, Michael Myers' terrifying mask, on a budget, spray painted, eye hole altered mask of Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk. We will also accept William Shatner. Captain Kirk, William Shatner. Who knew? All of us do now, and some of you may have. I don't know. Question 5. Going deep into the 80s for this one. Underground Task Force battling Venom. Butt tattoo, show you. Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem. 1985, 1986, 75 episodes. What was the kids' show called? It was called Mask. Mask. Also an acronym that stands for Mobile Armored Strike Command. With a K.
With a K.
Command with a K. Mobile Armored Strike Command. Imagine they went Mask, M-A-S-C. It's probably more... It's all about
C to K.
the C to K switch over.
Oh yeah, always. Pathetic.
Pathetic. Okay, so those are the answers for round 2. So I'm gonna hand it over to the sidekick to get some answerdom.
Oh, how we're doing so far?
How we're doing so far? Not answerdom.
Well,
how we're doing so
I'll
far?
let you know that so far, it's a close game. In third place thus far, we have the Baby Sharks.
Do, 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 do.
Better.
I still have that other one. Do, 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 do.
Phenomena.
Do, do,
That's what that
do,
is.
do.
You're saying. We have Big Salad, Damn It Janet's, Glenn Close But No Cigar, Hard Quartet, Mashley, My Team Will Go On, Trivia Newton John,
Wow.
Return of the Squids, Rosie of the Triveters, and Steamboat Willies, all in third place so far.
Wow. Okay,
A lot of
this
you
is
guys.
this is a tight
But then
one.
squeaking above them, second place,
Okay.
all we have is hammocks and shaved mango.
Okay.
Which leaves our first
Okay.
place so far contestants who are the Golden Squirrel Friends.
No way!
As you were just talking to.
Wow.
I just looked at that picture, hilarious. The Mavis Baker Band, Old Ball and 2 Chains.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. That's first place. So
Wow.
tonight.
Okay. Mavis Baker Band.
Competition.
Okay, cool. So, wow. So this is definitely a tight race, but I will say it is still anyone's game. Okay, so now before we go into round 3, last week I showed you one of the prizes. Again, what's going to happen is that there are going to be 3 prizes, and the first place team is going to get to choose first, second place second, third place third choice. And the prize that I showed you last week was the absolutely gorgeous print called Hotel by the phenomenal artist Jordan West. Highly recommend you follow his Instagram at Jordan West Studio. But this week's piece comes from a Brooklyn-based craft and photography collab. They have over 140,000 followers on Instagram and always looking for more. Their work was featured in the Netflix documentary Cats the Movie, which you can stream right now. Actually, not right now. Wait about 20 minutes. And has also been featured on VH1 and Comedy Central. If you love whimsical art that is reminiscent of Andy Warhol's pop and William Wegman's Weimaraners, you will love this art. And lucky for us, you may not know this, but the sidekick Mr. Jeffords moonlights as an artist behind the wacky and whimsical and globally famous RuPaul's Drag Race. So to tell you more about RuPaul's and the piece that is up for grabs as one of the prizes is the sidekick Mr. Jeffords.
Hello, yes, it's true. It's me, the artist, one of the 2 artists behind the cat drag queen RuPaul's, P-A-W-S. The piece that will be a prize, it's a one-of-a-kind print. It's an artist proof from a potentially upcoming concept, but one-of-a-kind. This is the 11 by 14 fine art print on fancy giclée paper print with a nice thick bamboo. But I also, to make it even more one-of-a-kind, the back is fully glittered and stickered to one-of-a-kind, this one-of-a-kind piece. You know you want it.
Yeah.
So, this little outfit that she's wearing, this handmade kitty couture by myself, and then a little handmade kitty wig by my collaborator Lindsay. Okay, so check us out on Instagram at RuPaws_Drag Race. We're also currently putting the finishing touches on our 2021 Cat Drag calendar.
Which I just saw Glenn Close But No Cigar just held up the 2020 calendar.
Jam-packed with queer icons, birthdays, cultural moments of importance. This is the 2020 calendar as a reference point.
Also being modeled by
features-
Glenn Close But No Cigar.
Exactly. Features a little less austere art. It's a little more, you can see the real whimsy pulling through, but we take the
Smoke a fatty and flip through it,
exactly.
basically.
So this is the commercial calendar art. You're gonna want to look for that 2021 calendar coming soon. This is the fine art version. Looks lovely on any wall, and so look out for that. Also look out for another exciting project soon to be announced. So,
Yeah, very exciting. Now, the one thing you mentioned it, but just to really underline this, that cat is actually wearing those clothes
It's
that
true.
he and his collaborator make, dress her in, and put a wig on, and then photograph her. So it's pretty next level. Okay, great. So that prize is up for grabs. Now I think it feels right to launch into
round 3, which is called Greens, and nothing but greens. This seems to be your night, Golden Squirrel friends.
Okay, so now for this round, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna hold up a leafy green, and what you must do is identify the green. There will be a couple of, clues here and there per green. So here we go. Green. Green number 1.
Greens, and nothing but greens.
Okay. Green.
Oh, we got the chef in the room over at Damn It Janet's. He's ready.
Green number 1. Green number 1. What is this green? What is this green? Yeah, I'm going to try to give you a multiple perspectives, angles, what have you. This particular green is a member of the cabbage family. Long tradition in Italian cuisine. Greenish blue leaves at times. You can kind of see that a little bit here. We're looking for the full name of this green. What is this green? You know I'm going to be eating this tomorrow in a salad. Avid birders, I know you know this one. What is this? Okay, that's green number 1. Green number 2. Green number 2. Green number 2. I'm loving the soundtrack for this green. Okay, this is it. What is this green? Considered to be some of the most nutrient greens around. Sweet, mild, cook up into a silky, tender texture. What is this green? Okay, green number 2. Green number 3. Okay. It's one or the other. Which one is it? Which one is it? It's one or the other, and you know what I'm talking about. Which one is it? Again, hand model. Thumb model? Full hand model? What do you think? Okay, take a look at the screen.
If you haven't seen the hand model
I'm
being
not-
interviewed by Katie Couric, go to YouTube after the show. Check her out. It's
Yeah.
a real classic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, So that is green number 3. Okay. Green number 4. Couple pieces here.
Oh. Interesting.
Okay. Look at this green. What is this green? What is this green? I will tell you, it is a distinctive, slightly bitter flavor. And when it flowers, the flowers are bright blue. Okay. Okay. All right. One more green to go.
We're gonna be eating salad all week over here.
One more green. What is this green? Okay. Member of the cabbage family as well. Earthy flavor and a meaty, tender texture when cooked. Making this green dizzy. Okay. All right. The lines are open. Get your responses into the sidekick, Mr. Jeffords, pronto. Does anybody need to see a green again? Okay, the old ball and 2 chains is asking to see number 4 again. Coming at ya.
All right.
Okay, Steamboat Willie is giving excuses in the chat bar here, saying the forced perspective is making these greens look giant. With the background, I feel like I'm watching a behind-the-scenes featurette. Yeah, kinda. Okay, well, from here, for scale,
One
slightly larger than my face. Vertically. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, can you do number 1 and number 2 for cinnamon buns? Okay, so that's number 4. Number 1. Number 1. What is it? Full name. Looking for the full name. For scale, it's about 1.5 lengths of my face. I don't know, it might be a full 2. 2 of my faces. Yeah, I mean this is a huge green. Okay. And then the other one, cinnamon buns, wanted to see 2 and 3. Okay. So number 2. What is this green? It's like impossible not to do dance moves with greens when there's music on. What is this green? Okay, for scale, it's about... Okay. Wear this in a pen. I wonder if they were wearing beet greens before they graduated to gauze in the 1918 flu pandemic.
Probably.
Okay, number 3. You know it's one or the other, but which one is it? Which one is it? Just trying to really get you some detail on this leaf. How's the hand modeling, guys? Okay. Number 4 and number 5. All right, we're just running through. Number 4, we already did a second time, but that's all right. I'm going to show it to you quickly one more time. Number 4. This is actually 2 pieces. Okay. kind of like a yin and yang.
Beautiful.
That's not a hint. Or maybe it is. Okay, number 5. Scream queens. Do you know your greens? This is probably better as a face covering. Yeah, poke eyes in here.
Breath of the Wild.
Okay. Master Jeeves is asking if all the rounds can be bottled foods. We'll consider it. Okay, so now if you need more time, flash a thumbs up. If you're still debating your greens and just really looking forward to tomorrow's smoothie. Okay, looks like everybody is ready to go. So I'm gonna close the window of opportunity to send your responses over to the sidekick, Mr. Jeff. It's in 3, 2, 1. Now, one thing I forgot to mention while we were on the topic of art, which is sort of the sponsorship section of the show, is the good folks over at On the Sly have offered a discount code for any of you who thought maybe you'd want to get one of those sweet booty packs that I have, or they have these amazing playa shirts. So there's a 33% discount code. The sidekick is throwing up some information for you in the chat bar now in the Zoom room. Contestants, if you're interested in that, just go to their site On the Sly and figure it out. Get something. Really, really cool stuff. Okay, so I think we're ready to do the answers for round 3. Okay, so here we go. Number 1. This is, here we go, lacinato kale. Lacinato kale, also known as black kale, also known as Tuscan kale, also known as Italian kale, also known as dinosaur kale, also known as flat back kale, also known as palm tree kale, also known as black Tuscan palm.
It's too many names for one thing.
If you said any of those, you got a point. If you said black Tuscan palm, you got 1.5. Okay. Number 2. Also, by the way, the lacinato kale, slightly sweeter and more delicate than curly kale, apparently. Number 2. Mavis Baker Band was Kale OK. Looking for the full name.
I think I gave it half a point.
You might have, that was generous, I would say. This, beet greens. Beet greens.
It's a tough one.
Beet greens. Yep. Okay. More antioxidants and other phytonutrients than the bulbous roots themselves. So next time you get a thing of beets, make sure you get the greens, saute them up, eat them. Stems, not really sure what to do with. That's going to be a research project for tomorrow. Number 3. You know it's one or the other. What is it? It is cilantro. Cilantro. The Golden Squirrel friends are saying saute the stems separately. Only packed 3 pairs of undies is saying that I said beet greens out loud during the round. Is that possible? We'll have to go check the tapes. You know, I'm new. Cilantro refers to the leaves, and coriander refers to the seeds. Cilantro's leaves are more rounded, while parsley, here's an example of parsley, while parsley's leaves are more pointed. So I'm just going to show you the difference here. Cilantro is here, parsley is here. Okay? Yeah. Close, but definitely different. Okay. All right. Number 3. Okay. Number 3. Chicory. Curly chicory. Curly endive or curly endive chicory. Okay. While it is an endive, not all endives are chicories. Endive, so if you just said endive, endive is too vast a category. That also includes the Belgian endive, which is the white one that you can use as little scoops. Radicchio, the red one, the red little cabbagey one. It's also not escarole. Some of you might have thought this was escarole. Escarole looks somewhat like a large, sturdy head of Boston lettuce with smooth, flat leaves versus the curly, narrow leaves of chicory. As far as frisee goes, because I'm sure that there are a bunch of you out there who said, oh, frisee, that's for sure, frisee. I love a frisee salad, that's frisee. It's not frisee, it's chicory. Frisee is not exactly the same vegetable that comes to market as chicory. When curly endive, i.e. chicory, is about 3/4 grown and about 30 days from seeding, the plant is covered and pressed and hidden from the sunlight, sometimes with boards, sometimes with cups. That's the way it stays until the plant attains exactly the right paleness and tenderness, at which point it is frisee. So frisee is stunted growth chicory. Okay? Chicory. Number 5. Collard greens. Collards. Collard greens. Collards. Shaved mango is upset. Mashley is having PTSD. Okay, so that was round 3. I love how we're on this nice sort of calm, languid song right now. The points from this week will be announced next week at our grand finale.
Can you believe it?
And yet it is still anyone's game.
I mean it.
If you don't yet, be sure to follow us at Feelz Right Quiz Night on Instagram. We post a weekly clue collage there that can inspire your subconscious for the evening's deliberations. And with that, I think we're ready to bid you adieu. The sidekick is already a busy bee over here marking away. So listen, until next week, sleep tight, fight the good fight, be polite, and always do what feels right.
Good night.